Well, last June, Eric's life had run off the road. His wife had left him. He was unemployed and tipping the scales at about 560 pounds. Then, just as he was about to give up, a song by the Proclaimers came on the radio. So he decided that although he can't walk that far, well, hell, he could at least ride 1,000+ miles on a bicycle. So that's when Eric said he made the biggest decision of his life.
Angie and I got married in 2008, and we separated in June 2014. When Angie left me, I weighed 560 pounds, and I couldn't find a good job in the area due to my weight. I couldn't bring in enough money, and I owe quite a bit of money, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. I just don't know, I'm bad with money. When Angie left, I was pretty devastated. It was the lowest point in my life. So I decided to bike across the country, lose the weight, get my life back, write a book about it, give us a nest egg, get us going again, and show her how much I love her by doing it.
All right, we're about ready to head off to Massachusetts.
When I started, I had about $200 in cash and about $600 from fundraising from my GoFundMe. I officially started my trip on the second week of June in 2015 in Falmouth, Massachusetts. And about a month into my trip, the journalist heard my story.
A 560-pound man is riding his bike across America to take control of his health and win back his estranged wife.
Everything completely changed for me overnight. Nonstop calls, media requests, emails, messages. It was pretty crazy. I didn't sleep for 5 days.
Well, Eric became an internet sensation, and his wife Angie was smitten with Eric's gesture. With roughly 34,000 Facebook followers, his GoFundMe account went from $0 to $14,000. But not only are there lots of cheerleaders on the sidelines, there are some naysayers too, who call Eric a digital panhandler who they say is scamming America into giving him a free vacation across the country. So is Eric trying to lose weight and save his life and marriage, or is he just conning the country?
We are in Crawfordville, Florida. I think I've been in Florida for probably 2 months. I've been in this hotel for several days, and I stay in a hotel a lot more right now during Florida just due to how the towns are kind of stretched out right now. There's less camping and more need to stay in a hotel. My average day is I wake up, I start packing everything. I need to make sure everything I need is ready to roll and then get everything put in here. I try to find a breakfast. I keep peanut butter on hand because it's good proteins and everything. Some sugars to help keep me going. Sometimes I'll actually add my jelly to it and have a PBJ. And then I have a Coke for breakfast. Moderation is the key. I try to skip rush hours. Sometimes it's really cold and I'd rather just wait a little bit, but I'll find a Dunkin' Donuts and I'll go sit and charge all my gear while drinking a coffee and then get back out on the road. When I'm cycling, it's physically hard on me. My handlebars are just a little bit too low, so it hurts my back, and I have carpal tunnel in my hands. Sometimes I walk my bike like this because my legs hurt and I want to take a break, and this way I can keep moving forward without actually taking a break. Sometimes in the middle of my ride, I might have a toaster pastry for some simple carb, and I smoke about 12 cigarettes in a day. I usually eat 6-7 times a day. I found sausages in there. They're probably not the best on salt, but you know, when you sweat a lot, you need a lot of salt. I was able to find, I guess, steak taquitos. Honestly, I eat like any other human being. And that's what I got to do for the rest of my life. It's about portion control. Meet a lot of people on the road. It's pretty cool.
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah, that'd be cool. They say that I've traveled about 600 miles, and I have no clue how many days I've stayed in hotels. I have no clue how many days I've camped. I just know I've been out here for what, almost 200 days?
So you've been on the road. When did you start, actually?
Second week of June.
You started the second week of June?
Yeah.
And let's talk about why you did this. You posted on your website what your reasons were, right? And here's what you said. You said, quote, "I'll be riding a bicycle from East Coast to West Coast for a few reasons. One, to prove things to my wife and my love. Okay. Two, to take back my health and to lose the pounds I've collected over the years. All the money will fund my trip, which will include my wife at times too. Money will be used for camping, food, supplies, travel, medical, internet, repair, etc. Pretty much anything I need to survive on the road. Yep. With your help, I can lose this weight, write this book, and prove to the world that we are not fat and lazy, but big and bold and ready to take on the world.
Right.
Did you prepare?
Yeah, as best as I could. I didn't ride. I didn't really train like that. I rode exercises with the bike a little bit, and I took one test ride about a week before the trip and made it about 5 miles before I crapped out. I wasn't going to ride my bike really until I got out there because I thought it was cheating.
You thought training for a 3,000-mile journey was cheating?
Yeah, because I wanted to write the book about the whole experience and actually doing it on the road.
So are you writing the book?
I'm working on it, yeah. To take
How many
notes, take
pages you
pictures.
got?
Well, we're not to the point where we're putting pages. We're collecting information, taking notes, doing pictures, doing video, blogging.
Then we just saw pictures of you in like Times Square with Naked Cowboy, and you got a lot of attention. At one point you said in your tape that you did so much media, you didn't sleep for 5 days.
Yeah, it was tough. People were calling me, texting me nonstop.
You got to Rhode Island, and you said you had to stay there for 2.5 weeks because the media was so intense.
Exactly, yeah, it was very intense. It kept
Was Rhode Island's a media hotbed of the country? What do you...
Apparently, that's where they all came and just came down on me.
This is when donations start pouring in, right?
Yeah.
So you got $20,000 via the GoFundMe and Indiegogo accounts, and you've gotten $1,500 in goods,
including
it was
my
$700 bicycle and clothes, $1,000 labor at bike stores because your bike breaks down.
Yeah.
$500 worth of beef jerky.
I gave a lot of it away and did some posts about it for them because, you know, I like to help out. Everybody's helping me, so I try to help out them.
And Destination XL clothes, and then cycling clothes donated by fans on the road.
Aerotech Designs, actually, for the cycling clothes.
And somebody gave you a scale?
They did. Destination XL gave me a scale.
You said you started at about 560 pounds, and you're down quite a bit.
Between 480, 490, somewhere in there.
You're 484 down. 480, 490. You say you're riding usually 6-7 hours a day.
I'm on the road 6 or 7, not necessarily pedaling the whole day because I take a lot of breaks. I mean, because I can't help it.
And you said in the morning you do like protein shakes, but then you ran out of the protein shakes.
Yeah, just recently. So.
And you replaced that with
just over-the-counter type.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Pop-Tarts and
Pop-Tarts are every once in a while. Dunkin' Donuts is just coffee and bananas, but and to charge my gear.
You said you bike 200 miles to your current location of Crawfordville, Florida.
Yeah.
And your goal is to make it to Pasadena, California by May.
Yeah.
The red on the map is where you rode.
Right. That's got the blue to go.
You said you've been in Florida 1 to 2 months?
I think so, yeah. I had a family member that was dying, and it was the last chance to visit. And my mom came to visit on her way to see her sister, you know, who we were visiting in Florida, and my mom broke her arm right here really badly. And so she was kind of with us for another week and a half, 2 weeks.
I'm sorry to hear all that, seriously.
Yeah.
But you raised a bunch of money from people that you were going to do a coast-to-coast quest.
Right.
And then you went to Florida and hung out for 2 months.
Well, it wasn't with that money. Would you suggest I leave my mother alone by herself in Florida?
So have you canceled your trip?
No, not at all. I'm still riding.
So you're not taking care of your mother?
Not now. I said for 1 to 2 weeks.
Well, what about the other 6 weeks?
Well, some of it's riding when you're only doing 10, 15, 20 miles a day, and then you have days off taking care of different things. My wife got sick. Like I said, we've run into problems. I have about 33,000 people on Facebook that actually support me, but I have that diehard 200 haters that are just sad, pessimistic people. They will lie, cheat, steal. Now, Dagny spends every waking moment trying to figure out a way to destroy me. I hate that woman. I do.
Well, self-proclaimed fat guy Eric says he was 560 pounds and unhappy with his weight, so he decided to do something unexpected, go on an epic bike ride across America. His goals? Well, lose weight, write a book, and rescue his failing relationship with his wife. Well, after his story went viral, thousands of dollars rolled in, and so did the critics, saying Eric was scamming America.
Eric's a digital panhandler. He's putting an emotional gun to people's heads and robbing them blind.
Eric is a lazy scammer.
Eric is not using the GoFundMe money for camping. He's using it to spend weeks at a time in hotels.
This seems to have turned into more of a crowdfunding vacation.
Eric's not losing any weight because he's hardly riding, and he's eating trash food, smoking cigarettes, and playing on Facebook.
My Facebook group, we follow Eric. Eric uses GPS services, and we can see when he's at fast food restaurants. We can see when he's at motels for long periods of time. The more that I followed Eric's story, it appeared to me that he put a lot more effort into making excuses than actually getting out and riding that bike.
Eric does sabotage his own bike and then turns around and uses it as a plea for more money.
I can remember when once he even tried to get people to give him free movie tickets on a hot day so he could sit in a cool movie theater. I'm not a hater, but really, I would like to see this whole charade come to an end.
It's the beginning.
Okay, so you guys think this is a scam?
I'm very skeptical. I believe he's not doing what he claimed he was going to do, yes.
I think that he's not living up to what he's promised.
And what do you think he's falling short on?
I think he's fallen short on writing. I think he's fallen short on saying he's going to camp and then you see him in a hotel for a month.
And why is that offensive to your sensibilities?
It's offensive because he's actually leaning on the promises and good hearts of people that are giving their money.
He did help me get my trailer, my first trailer, though, because we were friends.
Does he have larceny in his heart, or is he just incredibly naive?
I think Eric knows exactly what he's doing.
Trying to get across the country. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think? Larceny in his heart or incredibly naive?
I go for incredibly naive. I think he's all caught up in the excitement and romance of this idea that he's going to ride a bike across the country. But when I first began to research his story, it seemed to me that he was appallingly unprepared. And it seemed to me to be a completely doomed venture, and that he has gotten himself out there and found just how difficult it really is. And he's been in Florida 3 months, by the way.
I have no idea.
Yes,
I left towards there in October.
What do you mean you have no idea? How does a grown man not know where they've been for 3 months?
Because I don't keep real good track. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I know you don't. I know you don't. You say you don't keep real good track, but 3 months is a whole season.
I know.
I mean, the year has changed. That was last year.
I know. It goes so quick. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to explain. It's like.
Yes, it is.
I know. It just kind of all blurs together. That's the problem.
No, it doesn't.
It does when you're out like that.
We have calendars. We have a 24-hour cycle.
I know.
The sun comes up. That denotes a new day.
I know.
Then when it gets dark, that ends a day. When it comes back up, that starts a new day.
Yes, I know that.
And then when it's Monday and everybody's going to work and there's more traffic than there was on Sunday, that's a new week.
Yeah. It is.
See, we have these patterns. Let's look at some of the posts that have been up there. The smirk of someone who just conned someone into giving them money. Here's one. Yeah, I'm sick of seeing that fat son of a bitch all over my blanking news feed. He is a blanking attention whore, I'm sure it says. Oh, everybody look at me because I'm fat. I sit on my fat ass and ate food every day. So let the world know that one fat guy across America, you are a blanking disgrace to Americans everywhere.
Oh, see?
So there are people that don't believe you.
Exactly, they don't. I don't care.
You're out there to lose weight and get across America, but you've been in Florida, she says, for 3 months. You say 2, but you can't argue because they all run together.
Yeah, sometime in October I got there, so that's all I know.
And then on July 9th, 2015, you said, quote, I had their poo-poo platter, wings, Moz sticks, boneless wings, and tater skins.
Yes, and if you read...
Those were the appetizers.
Yeah.
Then you said, for my main, I had Kobe beef burger for the first time. It was a good burger. You need to try one sometime. Yeah. For dessert, I had cappuccino and a lemon berry mascarpone cake. It was fire, let me tell you.
Right, and you're also taking out of context, if you read the blog about it, I actually ate it throughout the whole day. And I ate part of it, and then I left, and then I had it for dinner, and then I had some for breakfast the next morning. Because, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing when you're traveling.
We're doing what?
You have to conserve your food, because you're not necessarily going to get somewhere when you're riding 5 miles a day in the beginning. It's hard to get from place to place.
In fairness, 5 miles a day?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to look at a map here.
Okay.
Because here's a map of my town. Okay, I live in Beverly Hills, up here in Benedict Canyon. Okay, so I can ride down to Sunset and over to about Doheny or a little past it, and that's 5 miles.
Right.
I'm still home.
Yeah. Now, how much do you weigh?
Okay, well, hold on.
All right.
And I also looked up on the internet that the average speed that you ride a bike is 9.6 miles an hour.
That's on a fast day.
Okay, so that means 5 miles would take 30 minutes. If I left here at 8 o'clock, then I'm over here, still home at 8:30.
Right.
But I'm still here. So now I'm going to stay there until tomorrow morning. I can still see the house.
I know.
I can still see the house, but I'm going to stay there. I'm going to camp at this intersection for 5 days, till the next morning, assuming that okay, you said, all right, how much do you weigh? I don't weigh what you weigh, so cut that in half. So say you ride half speed, okay, then so it would take you an hour. Okay, what do you do the rest of the day?
Well, let me tell you about the beginning of my trip, since you've totally guessed on everything incorrectly.
No, I didn't. This is
yes, you have.
This is what you said. I wrote down what you said. Quote.
Yeah.
You said with no trailer.
Right.
I ride 100 miles a week.
Now.
That's 14.28 miles a day.
Right, and that's now, after doing
okay,
it
but
for
you're
a
not
while.
riding 14.28 miles a week.
The first month I was doing 5 miles a day.
The average speed is 9.6. Let's say you're going half that.
Which I don't think it is, actually. Usually it's about 6.5 to 7.
Okay, let's say you're going 2.
Okay, that's fine. That's 2 miles an hour at 8 hours a day, then yeah.
Then you'd be going, then you're going 15, 16 miles a day.
Right, and I mean, I have to take a lot of breaks. I'm sorry.
Well, that would, 2 miles an hour would allow for some breaks.
Yeah, I know.
And you've been on the road 180 days. I mean, you ought to be moving right along.
I'm trying to.
Eric's wife, Angie, is just as manipulative as Eric. Angie threw Eric out. A few weeks later, she's engaged to somebody else. She shows a ring on Facebook.
There were a lot of photographs on Facebook of her and this other man, but it seemed like Angie decided to get back with Eric right around the time that the GoFundMe campaign really picked up. Angie is in this whole thing to add to the story in a way that she thinks may increase the donations.
Yeah, if that was true.
Eric is known and self-described as the fat guy who is supposed to be biking across America to lose weight and win back his wife. That's his description, not mine. Angie says it's working, but the haters are ruining their reunion.
I had to leave Eric at the end of 2013 because he had just given up on himself. He had probably gained 150 pounds during our marriage. I had to watch my first husband die of cancer, and I didn't want to watch my husband now slowly kill himself. After I left, Eric told me that he was going to do something to win me back. I figured it was just another one of his dreams that he would never execute. I was wrong. Once I saw Eric's commitment and dedication, I had to be by his side. Eric's bike journey has brought us close together. It's turned us into a power couple. I rode with Eric for about 3 weeks. We rode around a hotel parking lot for maybe half an hour, and that was all the training I got before I went out on the road. When I was biking with Eric, I was hospitalized 3 times. The haters made fun of me and said that I was a hypochondriac. The haters are a 24/7 network with a fatal attraction. I believe that the haters sabotaged my car by loosening the lug nuts. I lost my tire doing 65 miles an hour and was nearly ran over by a semi. They're out to sabotage Eric. They want him stranded because they're jealous of Eric and I and our love. The haters need to get a life and leave us alone.
Angie, thank you for being here. You think somebody actually sabotaged your car?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I hope that's not true.
I hope it's not true either.
Look, you said people need to mind their own business. Here's the issue, guys. By raising money through a public forum, they do have license and reason to inject themselves into the narrative of what you're doing. That's the issue.
And I do my best to keep up with it on Facebook and...
Well, you've been in Florida for 3 months.
My aunt was dying of cancer. I'm sorry. She just passed away 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
I'm sorry for your loss.
My mother broke her arm. I had to spend time with her, which you wouldn't take care of your mother, apparently. My wife got sick. She was stuck in a hospital. Am I supposed to just ride on without her or take care of her, Dr. Phil? Tell me. I'm sorry. I'm done with you just riding my rear.
Wait, climb down off your high horse there.
I'm sorry, you're just completely ripping me.
No. You can get self-righteous and sanctimonious all you want to, but let's count the days that you've been taking care of these people and the days you've been sitting around in a hotel eating fast food.
Who says I'm eating fast food all the time?
You do. And tell me I wouldn't take care of my mother. Who do you think you're talking to?
Well, it just seemed like, Dr. Phil, I was trying to get you to realize.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But you may blow that by some of the people you hang out with, but you ain't going to blow that by me. No. I'll get a calendar out with you, and we'll see how much time you've been spending rendering care to the ailing.
That's fine.
I said you've been eating fast food. What is this?
That is a taquito, which your crew told me to go buy something at a gas station and eat it in front of them, Dr. Phil.
Okay, my crew is setting your nutritional plan. What's that upside down in your bag back there?
That was in the beginning, and I was still weaning myself off pop. That's an orange soda.
She's laughing at him, and he's trying to change.
Well, because I lost 170 pounds.
Yes, that's all your hard work.
I know what it takes to get it done. Wait.
Yes, I know what it takes to pay to get it done, Dagny. With your weight loss surgery, you did have a leg up.
You must change your life significantly, and all you ever write about is how, it's not about giving up the good things in life. You can still treat yourself.
Why are you so bothered by her and what she's saying?
Well, I think she's only in it to raise the donations.
You put this picture up of her and says, it truly fills the screen, doesn't it? I've not modified it at all.
She posts pictures of herself all the time, and she believes that she's being inspirational to supporters. I don't see anything about her that's inspirational.
She's got a bike helmet on, and you said, quote, that's a brain that needs protection. I mean, come on, that's just mean.
I was just being snarky.
Eric posts a lot of photographs of himself, comparing those photos side by side. That man almost looks like he's put on weight from when he started this trip.
When I started riding, I weighed about 567 pounds. Right now, I haven't weighed in, I don't know, a month or two.
I don't think he's riding, and I don't think he's losing weight.
My clothes fit better. I'm all jiggly instead of all compressed now, and I can really see the weight coming off.
I want to see a scale, Eric. Let's see it now.
You have taken some pictures along the way.
Yep.
June, you say 540 pounds. July, 514. August, 493. September, 489. October, 499. November, 493. No December posting. And then January, 485.
I don't remember putting one up for January, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, come over here and let's see what. Okay. This is a scale, and it's on 0, as you can see. And to make sure that we're properly calibrated, I got a 50-pound weight here, and it reads
50 pounds?
50 pounds. All right. So.
This is the scale I've been looking for.
All right. Step on.
All right.
It says 514.
Mm-hmm. So I am losing. I said I'm not doing great.
Still over 500 pounds after all these months?
I'm sorry, Dagny. I'm trying, though. I'm trying to make this happen.
Okay, well, you've got to fix. You're at 514.
Yeah, that's great. So now I know that I'm doing something wrong.
You started in June. In
Right.
July, you said you weighed 514.
Yeah, somewhere in there, yeah. That was when I wasn't about Tiverton, they said?
You didn't say somewhere. You said 514. And now it's July, August, September, October, November,
513, yeah.
January. And you're 30 pounds heavier than what you said. And you said, I didn't remember a January, so we'll use November.
That's great.
But you're where you were in July. So you need a plan.
Yeah, I do need help, and I've said that. But it's trying to pick through the actual helpers and the people that she sicks on me all the time.
So just ignore me. You've got $14,000.
I'm trying, Dagny.
Figure out what to do.
You haven't just attacked
my
him,
bad, I'm
you've
sorry.
attacked Angie about saying she has cancer.
Eric's wife, Angie, is an attention whore in a very big way. Since she joined Eric on the trip, it seems like she's visiting ERs in every state that they go to.
I had to get a spinal tap, and I was hospitalized for a total of 9 days.
Angie thinks that she will build more sympathy if she posts selfies of herself looking sad in a hospital bed, wearing her hospital gown and her mask. Angie has quite a colorful history of medical illnesses. In fact, she set up a blog when she claimed that she'd been diagnosed with a terminal illness. She claims to have had leukemia, PTSD, some kind of chronic blood disease or a bone disease.
It originally started with myeloproliferative disorder, and I had to have bone marrow aspirations to have it tested. I had doctors saying that I had an autoimmune disease, that I had Sjogren's syndrome. One doctor even said I had lupus. Because I'm a writer, I journal my medical experiences. I did ask for blood donations to raise awareness.
There have been reports from people from their hometown that through Eric's DJ service, they tried to raise money for Angie's various medical issues.
I never said I had cancer, and I never asked for money. It was the haters that twisted it around.
All right, so according to Angie's blog, you were diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome and early onset lupus and myeloproliferative disorder.
Yes.
With early onset myodysplasia and formerly referred to as pre-leukemia.
Right.
And bone marrow isn't creating healthy blood cells. Instead, it's clonal cells, right?
Exactly.
And this is a slowly progressing cancer cell. It's kind of a precancerous.
Myeloproliferative disorder.
And none of which are serious as the high-risk leukemia that accompanies MD.
It does. After so many years, you have to have a
reasons Angie says she started her blog were to educate friends and family on the diagnosis and people on the importance of donating blood and bone marrow. So if you've and you say, quote, if you've avoided donating blood and bone marrow, please give it a second thought. If you already donate regularly, encourage others to donate as well. That's what you asked for. We didn't find any references to requests for money, and we looked at your medical records, which you sent, and it confirms what you've said in your blog in terms of diagnosis and the procedures that you've gone through.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what the medical records say, and the medical records are authentic.
Yeah,
so.
they think that I make this stuff up. I'm just an unlucky person.
How about the agoraphobia?
What? I didn't leave my house. Are you kidding me? Why are you think this is funny or that it's cute?
Are you
that
dealing with agoraphobia right now?
What? No. I have strength, which has helped me to get over, because I'm a fighter and I do things to encourage myself to take one step further, And I encourage you to do the same, to come out of your bitchiness. If I can do it,
she's been fighting really hard to get past what the doctor even referred to as agoraphobia.
Have you called her a whore?
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason you were called a whore is because right after you tossed Eric out, you were dating another gentleman.
Right
and then, yes, and then later on you announced your engagement.
I didn't announce an engagement because I was never engaged.
And then as soon as that GoFundMe hit...
And that makes me a whore?
Boom! Well, what exactly does someone do for money?
Well, Charlie, you. Anyway, you have to bleep that. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's not.
Why do you care?
We were separated
at the time,
for a year.
I was really actually caring for a man that was getting manipulated.
Yeah, and you were my friend during that time, but it doesn't give you the right to say nasty stuff about my wife.
What I want to say to you is I do not believe by any stretch of the imagination that you are making a good faith and legitimate effort to get yourself from coast to coast on a bicycle. I just don't believe you are. I'm not saying you're dishonest. I'm just saying you're either ill-prepared and incredibly naive, disorganized, whatever. If you're conning anybody, you're conning yourself. You're letting yourself, sitting around eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Tostitos on a curb. And don't listen, you can shake your head and roll your eyes all you want to, but let me tell you, then you need to change what you're doing, because you're not getting any closer to Pasadena, California. You need to get out there and you need to set a goal, and you need to do it come rain, come shine, whether it's hot, whether it's cold. You do need to get a nutritional plan, and you need to get on that bike, and you need to paddle your ass westbound. And if you do that, you are going to be astounded at how you feel, and when you start seeing those miles click off and those pounds come off and you get across there, you're going to feel great about it, and you're going to gain some momentum, and you're going to get going. But it takes a plan and it takes commitment. Or don't. I'm saying you need to get yourself moving, and I will get you somebody to help you plan this out. I will get you somebody to give you a nutrition plan. I will get you somebody that will help map this thing out for you. His name is Robert Reams, and he is a top-level trainer. He is a certified trainer. He has done all this kind of work before. He's a certified nutritionist. This guy will get with you, and he will make you a plan. He will get you from where you need to go to where you're going, and he will haunt you worse than I do to get you from A to B.
So you're saying when I get to California, I'm going to come back here and we can say eat it.
Damn right.
All right. It's a deal.
All right. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.